The New Jersey Fire and EMS Institute will be hosting their second annual seminar on health, safety, and tactics at the Middlesex County College on July 13th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. This year's seminar will feature Chief Anthony Avillo of the North Hudson Regional Fire Rescue, Jeff Dill, founder and CEO of the Firefighter Behavioral Health Alliance, and Captain Bob Disbrow of the City of Bayonne and Superior Fire and Emergency Response Training. For tickets, scan the barcode on your screen or check out the NJFEMSI on social media. The New Jersey Deputy and Battalion Chiefs Association will be hosting their annual fire service seminar on Saturday, October 5th at the New Jersey City University. This year's speakers will include Chief Vincent Dunn, Chief Aaron Heller, and Chief Anthony Avillo, among many other great firematic minds. So scan the QR code on your screen or find them on social media and get your tickets today. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to another great run. Number 21. Tonight's episode was with Chief of Freehold Fire Department, Chief Jaye Sims, very near and dear friend of the family and friend of myself. Chief Jaye Sims of the Freehold Fire Department, Goodwill Hook and Ladder Company. Since joining the department in 1993, he has held the positions of company captain, lieutenant, company president, department training officer, department secretary. Upon his appointment, Jay became the department's first African American fire chief in the agency's 150 years. Jay has also done very extensive training and work with the Monmouth County Health Department and Office of Emergency Management. Jay was appointed to the Borough Council in June of 2006. Again, was the first African American to serve the governing body. Jay served as the public safety and personnel committees and council president in 2010 and 2016. He is currently employed by the City of Long Branch with the Public Works Department, where he holds the position of Assistant Director of Public Works. Jay grew up and went through the Borough Public Schools, attending Park Avenue Elementary, Freehold Intermediate, and Freehold Borough High School, graduating in 1993 as senior class president. Jay has a degree in education from Brookdale and recently graduated from the Rutgers University Public Works Managers Certification Program. Jay is very committed to his community and has worked hard to make a difference in his hometown. Jay is happily married to his wife, Danielle, and they are raising their twin daughters, Mackenzie and Madison. He is the youngest of four siblings, Pamela, Jerry, and the late Reginald. Most importantly, the son of the very proud and his biggest supporter, his mom, Eva Sims. All right. Hey, Jay. What's going on tonight?
Nick.
How are you, man?
All right. How are you? Thanks for having me tonight. Really excited about this.
Tongue-tied.
It's all right.
All right. So tell us where it all began.
So as you read in the bio, it all began here in Freehold. Good whopping Freehold here. This is where I got my start. As you read, I'm the youngest of four. My older sisters, Pam and Jerry, helped my mother raise me. Single parent home. My mom, Eva, she worked a lot. Worked a lot of hours, worked a lot of overnights to provide for us. But the good part about growing up here in Freehold is you always heard the saying, "It takes a village." So I've had a lot of nourishing and moms through the years that have overseen my prosperity and growing up in town and keeping an eye on things, helping my mom out. And I'm happy to say I'm here where I am today because of just good surroundings with people and a good family, strong commitments.
Strong roots.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So when did you start developing a passion? What was childhood like? What made you start looking at the shiny red fire trucks?
Well, in Freehold, as you know, we had the whistles. Fire call, you blow the whistle. So your friends, the fascination. You hear the whistles blowing, you see the fire trucks go down. What little kid like a fire truck? You chase the fire truck on your bike. You ride. You see the truck go down, and you see them racing down the street. So I used to go look at fires. With my friends, go watch. You see what they're doing. It's somebody's house. Unfortunately, it was somebody's house burning, but the fascination of, and I see you got a picture of the racetrack there, and I'll tell you a funny story about that in a second. But the fascination of growing up in Freehold, such a small town, but everybody knows everybody. So when that horn blew, and man, when that horn blew, would blow continuously. So you just knew. Like I remember friends would be out playing, like, oh man, there must be a fire. It's fire somewhere. So you start running. You go, you chase fire trucks. Coincidentally, as you know, you're an offspring of a good man. Your father actually, and I'm proud to say your father had a lot of doing with me becoming in the fire service because he convinced my brother to join the fire department years ago. So, as you know, my late brother and your father did a lot of early work in Freehold with the rec commission, coaching with Little League and stuff like that. So I used to follow my brother around, and just like a young boy would follow their father around. So my brother was my idol. Followed him around, did a lot of stuff. My brother joined the fire department in 1990. Your father was instrumental in getting them in. And so it was cool. I was like, oh, okay, here's my end. So I would just hop in the car. Reggie was going to the firehouse. I was a teenager, just go down there and sit. So rather than go hang out with my friends, I'm hanging out with my older brother. I'm at the firehouse. So
Okay.
you start knowing guys, even though I'm only 14, 15 years old, the fire department at the time, we didn't have a junior program. I wish we did, but I was very fortunate. One good part about the Freehold Fire Department is you've had a lot of nourishing guys through the years hanging around there. So I was always never afraid to ask questions. So you start seeing stuff. The guys would go to a drill. One of the big drills would always be go over to the courthouse, and they would pull ladders or hoses off the truck, and they would do different types of training. So you just start watching and just like a little kid following their dad around, start asking questions. And then at the end, I would start little by little, just start packing the hose back on the truck and doing the little things. And, the feeling was always there. And then in 93, when I was, after I got out of high school, I was old enough to join because you have to be 18. I joined the department and it took off from there. So I'm glad I did. I joined with a lot of guys that I went to grammar school with, high school with. We're all still in the department together. But that's the uniqueness about a small town fire department. No matter where you are across America, you look at integral parts of departments, and they're made up of families or friends or whichever. But someone has a tie with somebody in the fire department. Very rarely you'll see somebody come in and be like, "Oh, who are you? I don't have any ties in the fire department."
Yeah.
That's the uniqueness of especially with the volunteer fire department in a small town.
Very rare.
Very rare, and everybody's got ties together. With the department, with the family somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But funny side, you showed the picture of the racetrack fire, so I always tell this story and people laugh. So that was probably one of the biggest fires, I would say, in Freehold. And there's a few other pictures we have in our firehouse in the history of the town, like large fires. So this particular day, I remember it was May of 1984. I was actually
May 4th.
Yep, May 4th. I had a little league game that day. I was actually over at the field. I was in the middle of our game. They called our game because the wind had shifted that day. It was blowing smoke and embers all across town. Called the games off. I get home, and my mom's like, "Where are you going?" I'm out riding my bike. So my mom, of course, yelling. She's like, "Well, if I think I know where you're going, you better not carry yourself over there." So typical little kid, and you laugh because you know my mother. So you have intimate knowledge of how my mom is. So, a lot of my friends and I, you slowly but sure, you start riding your bike up the street. You start creeping up slowly. And, you keep looking back. You see the house getting further and further away. Oh, get a little speed and there you go. So off we go over or towards the direction of the track. But as you know how the streets are in Freehold, South Street in particular, because I grew up on Institute Street, South Street in town. So we it's like 8 of us. We blow across South Street, cut a car off. And that's just the word karma. Just keep that in mind. So just so happened, the car we cut off was a lady that happens to go to our church that knows my mom. So, you take cell phones out of the play because there was no cell phone at the time. So what do you think she did as soon as she got home? The phone rang. My mom, oh, yeah. Right? Yep, exactly. So get back about an hour or so later. I'm going to get back probably about 2 or 3 hours later. It was dark. Get back on the porch, my mom goes, "So where were you?" I was like, "Oh, riding bike." She goes, "Oh, really?" She goes, "Where?" I said, "No, just riding up and down the street or whatever." So she's like, "You smell like smoke." And I said, I said, so-and-so was barbecuing in his backyard. We were playing. And he said, "Oh, yeah, I just, you know what, Nick, that hole was just, I might as well just had to give up. The hole was already, I just kept digging." And she goes, "Oh, so Miss So-and-so called. You want to explain why you cut her off and, flipped her the bird going across the street with your friend? You got to." So she's like, "You went to the track fire."
You flip her the bird.
Yep. So, people ask me, with my mannerism, "Did you grow up in the military?" I said, "No, I was never in the military. I just had a mother that just did not take any, fill in the blank." She was strict, but at the same time, my mom didn't have time for foolishness. Raising 4 kids on her own, we turned out the way we did. It's because of her discipline, and she instilled that upon us. So, like I said, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair. I wouldn't have what I have right now if that wasn't for my mom. And then, including people like your father. Laid a good path, helped out through the years. My older brother, God bless his soul. My brother passed away 6 years ago. For your viewers that don't know, we talk about him in that it's been 6 years. Yeah. So, everybody knew Reggie. Reggie had a thick passion of things. Regardless, everything he did, he always did 100 miles per hour. So it was, that's Reggie. So, right, wrong, and different. You battled, you disagreed with him, but at the end of the day, he'd give you a big hug, and that was it. But that was his demeanor. That was his passion. So, yeah.
So real quick, give us a rundown of the town itself and the fire department for the viewers that may not be familiar with Freehold.
So Freehold is small, but I would say very busy for a small town. 1.9 square miles. The borough itself, it's surrounded by Freehold Township, which I believe is like 36 square miles. So it's like, the best way to describe how Freehold is, it's like the donut.
Hole in the donut.
The hole in the donut, exactly. And we average roughly between 450, 500 calls a year. Last year we did 476. And that's between running mutual aid calls and our own calls in town. We have a lot of critical infrastructure with Monmouth County in Freehold because we're the county seat. So we protect a lot of the buildings that are owned by the county. We have a lot of churches in Freehold. And one of the unique dynamics in Freehold now is the cultures have changed through the years. In Freehold now, we have a high Hispanic population now, roughly about 75% Freehold's Hispanic. And that's been over the course of the last 20, 25 years. That's changed. So the interesting dynamic with that is now it offers some additional challenges because you have, language barriers. So if we do have emergencies at houses now, luckily we do have some bilingual firefighters, and we have a couple of Hispanic firefighters on the department that can help translate when we're on calls. And then our police department's multilingual as well. So we have some police officers that assist us sometimes at scenes when we have calls that can do language translations. But overall, the town still has that small town vibe. Everybody still knows everybody, or somebody has a connection with somebody along the line. So you still have that small town feel to it. But we run we run 2 engines, and then we have a pumper rescue that we recently purchased back in 2017, and then we have a 100-foot aerial tower ladder that we have. So between those, the fleet is down. We have 4 active apparatus now compared to years ago. It used to be 6, but we did a lot of we downsized with combination trucks. But everything's different now. The amount of fire, I would say now is down immensely compared to when I first joined. It seemed like we were going somewhere all the time. But I think a lot of that can be a added plus to the prevention and the way things are being built now. So that cuts down on your fire. I mean, there's always the potential there now, and there's always a potential of something else to worry about now. But you have to really rely now on your training, and the training's always been beneficial, but you have to compensate for the times you don't, because you don't have the fires anymore. So like a lot of times you get a lot of your hands-on training because you just saw a lot of fire.
Yeah.
You picked up a lot of experience,
absolutely.
You picked up a lot of your experience just with older members taking you under their wing. And that's how I learned my craft. I learned from a lot of people. I mean, I could go down a list of people through the years who've been instrumental with me being sitting in this chair now in the capacity I've been. They've been very instrumental in my growth in the fire service. But, now it's just like I said, you really have to rely on keeping your skills up by doing training, because the volume of fire is not like it used to be.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember Freehold used to go, it was a primary mutual aid around a good chunk of the western half of the county.
Absolutely.
Howell, Englishtown, Manalapan, Freehold Township, Millstone.
And we still do now. And as we go to them, and so you have to rely because of manpower shortages now. Not everyone works in town anymore. So you have now MARPs that you have to do, mutual aid response plans. So you have your box alarms. Your initial box alarms are pretty stacked because you're basically calling people in. You may only use 2 pieces of equipment at a fire, but you need the manpower. Depending on the size of the fire. So you calling people in. So
especially winter, summer, when you're burning through your people.
Absolutely. So I think nowadays that's everybody now. Talking to chiefs around in the area, like everybody is experiencing shortages with manpower. So you rely on each other. To help each other out, and then you do the best you can to get through what you can get through. And then, your mutual aid comes in and you deploy and use the manpower as such. So that's, it's definitely a partnership with everybody. You're not able to get through on your own anymore, so to speak. You definitely need to heavily rely on your mutual aid partners.
Now, so, Freehold Borough had 3 engine companies and a ladder company historically. Is that there's been some consolidation over the years? How does that how is that dynamic changed?
So the core dynamic is still there. You still have the 3 engine companies and you have the hook and ladder company, but the stronghold of that used to be, you would have that, and so it used to be that way. But now we strictly operate now the way we more consolidated. Like everybody just works together now. So you really don't have a core hook and ladder company that strictly just does the roof work, ventilation, and salvage overhauling, and everything, roof work or truck work, and then your engine companies. The way we work now is just everybody, you jump on the truck and everybody pretty much does all functions. And the key to that is now, if you think about it, you get your core training in the fire academy. You're taught everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're taught how to ventilate. You're taught how to use an axe to cut a hole on a roof. You're taught how to advance a hose line inside a building. You're taught how to flake a line out.
Mm-hmm.
You're taught how to
Absolutely.
set a fan up to do ventilation properly. Hydraulic
Oh,
ventilation, thermal balance. You think about all the things that you're taught.
it goes to the Marine Corps, then the Army. You're a soldier and you're a rifleman first.
And
You're
that's
you're
it.
a Marine
That's it.
before whether you're a doctor or you're a machine gunner. You're a
Absolutely.
Marine before you're anything else.
Yep. So those things. It's you think about all your added core training, and you put it into play, and that's why I just mentioned before, like a couple of minutes ago. Um, you know, you don't have as much fire as you used to have, but that's why you got to rely on keeping your skills up.
Yeah,
And training is so
100%.
vital. Before I was chief, I was the training officer for the department. So it was just, to me, I had a passion for training. I still have a passion for training. I think it's so important.
Absolutely.
It's keeping your skills up. So, and as you get older, it's just like with this job, like me being a chief now. I think that just the hardest task now is just keeping your skills, zoning in, keeping everything up to speed. As you know, the firehouse, particularly in the volunteer service, it's generations.
Mm-hmm.
So learning what the newer generation is being taught now up on things. So things may have been, for me now, it's 30 something years ago when I went through the fire academy now. So things are taught differently now in the
Yeah.
fire academy. But and one of my tasks as a chief, I think it's important to know and be up on what's being taught now. So you see the new firefighters come out of the fire academy, and you see them do something on the fire ground. I'm like, what are you doing? And if you're not up on what they're doing, then you're lost. You're lost in
Yeah.
the sauce, as I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to be up on that. So and I think that's real important. Like, just because
Mm-hmm.
and I hope all my fellow chiefs and officers out there listen to me when I say, like, just because you get a title does not mean your training stops.
Yeah.
Keep it going. I'm a testament to that. I think highly on training. You train your skills, you keep your skills up, because once you lose your skills, you don't do something enough, and you go to apply it at a scene, you could either hurt yourself or hurt somebody. So,
Yeah.
and then knowing the things that they do now, like I said, things are being taught slightly different. Yes, do we still put the blue stuff on the red stuff? Absolutely, but there's tactical ways that have changed through the years now, and you have to be up on those things. It's
Yeah.
important.
Absolutely. Um, Well, and not only could you hurt somebody, but you lose your credibility when
You
you
do.
when you look at
You do.
that kid that just came out of a class, or even a middle of the range guy or an old timer that you say something off and they're like, wait, what?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
like,
Yep.
did you see the same thing? And now your credibility is shot, and they're gonna
It is.
second guess. They're gonna second guess everything that you say.
Right.
And again, that's a huge detriment to the program.
It is. It is. It is. Nick, so one of the things I learned from somebody, and I'm not going to name names, but they just, when I became chief, we had conversations. I seeked advice from people in different areas, just to help with my craft. And they said, just do yourself a favor. When you start from your first fire call on, start keeping a logbook. So every fire since I've been an assistant, I just keep a little log journal. And it's something I'm looking for when I'm done as chief. It's something I'm looking forward to. I'm going to go back and look through it. Just look. I just make notations of something each time, even if you go to the same place.
Yeah.
Something as simple as went back to the firehouse, hung out with the guys. I just write different things down. I like to keep a little journal of everything that I do. But reason why I brought that up is, and this is something that for me that's helped me get through where I'm at so far, is you're never too old to learn something. I learned a lot of stuff, because even in our fire department, dealing with the 4 different companies is like dealing with 4 different personalities. So, I learned. I learned.
Very
I
much
learned. I
so.
even learned. I learned from our newer members. We have young members, and now I'm of the age where some of them I'm old enough I could probably be their father. but you learn from them, like you know your personnel. So you know how some people act, you know how they normally are. People guys through the years. And if they're not acting a certain way, then you say, or you don't see somebody, those little things like that, you just take for granted. But like being in a leadership role, they're so important and so vital.
Yeah.
That knowing your people, knowing who they are, and learning things. So like I said, I learn something new every time. Sometimes I try to go a different direction to a call, do something different. So every call is new to me. Like I said, I'm looking forward when I'm done. I'll read my little journal and, oh yeah, I remember that. That's, wow, I forgot that happened. But
Well, when
yeah, I'm
you're
looking
done, they
forward to
become
that.
memoirs, right?
Yep.
They can become memoirs.
They definitely can. They definitely can.
It's part of the book.
That's it.
So now you've been until recently, when you took your current position with the city of Long Branch, you've been involved in the emergency services professionally as well. You started out as a houseman at Freehold Fire Department, and
I did. So we had we used to have our own in-house dispatchers here at the Freehold Firehouse.
I missed that job.
Yeah, that was a cool job. That was a cool, like you weren't technically called a dispatcher. You called a houseman. That's what they called it at the firehouse. So we dispatched our own fire calls. Now we're dispatched by the county dispatch system, Monmouth County. So we dispatched, and you did the maintenance of the entire firehouse. So you clean the firehouse up, swept, mop, do those things. And, you pump the gas of all the municipal vehicles, and Freehold was part of the job. And then the good part about it, when there was a fire call, you got on the radio, you dispatched the call. And, those were the sweet days. From there, we used to have our own police dispatch as well in Freehold. So I dispatched for our police department for a couple of years. From there, I went up to Monmouth County. I actually did the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office, the radio room, as everybody calls it. Dispatched there for a couple of more years. My journey traveled from there. I went to Rutgers University for a year and a half and dispatched at the university there with their 911 system. Yep. And then you know what? My route brought me back here to my roots, right here in Monmouth County. It was an opening with the Monmouth County Health Department with the hazmat team, and it's just something that piqued my interest. I went ahead and I got certified. I got my hazmat tech. I became a hazmat specialist, and then I got to go a couple of places around the country, do some cool training. It was really, really fun. I did that for about 17 years. And then my career in Monmouth County ended with me becoming the recycling coordinator. So kind of like a vast change with the career through the years as a public employee. And so I did that for a few years. And then here I am. I'm in Long Branch now. So I've been in Long Branch now. I'm working on my third year after being in Monmouth for 20 years. Working. So it's a new change, new career path now. Working with the Public Works Department as an assistant with the director to the director with the Public Works Department. So I just recently finished the Certified Public Works Managers course with Rutgers. Okay. So they sent me to that, and it was a career move, but I like it. No thing's ever the same. I'm always doing something different every day. I have multiple duties. I call it more like let's say my position is like a hybrid position.
Okay.
Because I do a facet of different things throughout the course of the day through my duties with Long Branch, and I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I would say from the minute I wake up to the time I go to bed. Between that and obviously my family obligations. I have twin daughters. They're very active. They active with sports. They play travel soccer and travel baseball. So I would say as a parent, no greater gift is that you hear somebody compliment. My mom used to always say it, and then when my wife got pregnant with the twins, says best compliment anybody could ever pass off to you is how well your children behave. So, and especially now in this day and age, with all the distractions that are out there for you kids. So I thank God for sports, because sports probably, again, sports probably is the reason why I'm sitting in this chair, amongst other people that have helped my career path. But sports
100%.
kept me out of trouble,
Yep.
and kept me grounded. My kids are well rounded; they're academics, and they play basketball and soccer. But the sports keep, they don't have time. The only time they got down is their downtime to go to sleep. They come home, they eat, they sleep. So I'm blessed. I would
Yeah.
say overall, Nick, my life where I'm at now, I'm in a good place. I'm happy to be. I'm proud and happy and honored to be the chief of the Freehold Fire Department. It's an historic fire department, as you know.
Yeah.
Never
Absolutely.
thought when I first joined at 18 I'd be sitting there having a conversation as the chief of the department. But it's been a great ride. I've enjoyed all of it. Don't regret anything I've done. Sure, with being in a position of leadership, you always do have to make unfavorable decisions or difficult decisions, as you would.
So now
And I've done those.
let's get into that, if you don't
Sure,
mind.
sure. No, not at
Um,
all. Absolutely.
Recently, I guess you hit the old hornet's nest with the proverbial stick, if you will. And
So
you broke tradition. How dare you?
yeah.
Um,
Um.
I say that metaphoric or
No, no, no.
sarcastically, of course, because
I
I
understand that.
respect what you did. If you want to tell us about that, and we'll get into.
Yeah, we can. So again, once again, I would say, like I said, no one likes to make difficult decisions. So um, you take a position on of leadership. There comes responsibility with it, and when you're at the top of the heap, the buck stops with you. So that being said, the DFS, Division of Fire and Safety for New Jersey, they have regulations in place. POSHA, OSHA, NFPA. As a fire chief, you juggle all those. You run a fire ground, you run your personnel. All your personnel, as being a part of the fire service, you fundle all under all those regulations. So part of those regulations, you maintain your certs, and we do our trainings, and you have your certs through the years, and you're supposed to maintain them. They're in your file. They're there. They're obviously there for a reason. They're there to protect you. They're there to protect the organization. So within the past year, we conducted an internal audit with the department, and we found that a good chunk of our members, their personnel files, they just didn't have certain things in them. So, obviously, paraphrasing Cliff Notes version is, we gave a time frame. I issued a memo to the department members, giving them a deadline. Basically 7-month deadline to obtain the necessary certs that they need to coexist as an active firefighter. And when the deadline came, some members complied, others didn't. I don't know what their differences was, and not for me to say here or there, but a deadline's a deadline. If I backtracked and didn't follow through on that, then that shows me that I'm inconsistent as a leader. So the tone has to start with me. It's a business at the end of the day. It's just like you run a business, or you run you have to set rules. You have to set guidelines.
Yeah.
And if people aren't following them, then you have to set them down. So as a result, yes, we had a good amount of firefighters. Their gear was removed, and they were placed inactive till they obtained the necessary certs. Not favorable. And I did catch a lot of slack for it around, and the buzz I've heard quite a bit. Social media was a blast. Internally with the department members, they weren't happy with it, and again, nobody's ever happy when something's done unfavorable. And I show no ill faith towards anybody. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But at the end of the day, I still stand by what I did. I still stand by what we're doing. I should say, when we talk in present tense, because we're still following those guidelines. Because at the end of the day, something happens as the chief of the department. I could be held directly punitively liable for
Yeah.
everybody's actions.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, I could be chilling on the island with the drink. If somebody still gets hurt, I'm still going to be the guy that's going to get
Yep.
their phone's
At
going
the
to
end of the
ring, and
day,
I
you're
have to
still the
answer,
boss.
and I'm still the boss. So it's no different than a business with employees. You have an employee handbook. So it's just like the fire service. Our employee handbook are the rules and regulations of all the agencies, regulatory agencies that we have to
Yep.
follow.
Yeah.
You know, we have these in place to help us, and that goes for anybody, out there. You're in a role of leadership. You have to set these guidelines. I've found with me, the main thing is to be consistent. You can't say one thing and do another, because
Exactly.
that shows a wrinkle in your armor.
Yep.
And that you once you've showed that you can be inconsistent, then that's a loophole, and then that shows then that's a, like I said, that's a wrinkle in your armor, and then that shows that your leadership abilities are not what they are. So
100%.
you have to maintain that, and you have to set the trend for everybody underneath you to follow the
Yep.
same set of guidelines.
100%. Absolutely.
So
Well, think
again,
about it. Think about it. They're expecting something from you as the employer.
correct.
That makes you their employer. That makes
Correct.
them the employee. If they went
Correct.
to their full-time job and their boss said, "Hey, I need you to do this," and they went,
Yep.
and walked away.
Yep.
Private industry, I'm telling that, you and I are both government employees. We have certain inalienable rights, but a private industry, that guy turns around and doesn't do it. See you later, bro.
That's
Keep
it.
walking. Keep walking. There's a door. Just keep
Yeah.
going. Have a good one.
And again,
Like, I don't understand how, especially in the day and age, you look all over social media, you look all over the world, everybody's saying, "Oh, volunteer, same as there's no difference between pay." You're right, there's not, because the same that shit happens in the career fire service and career emergency industry. It's just there's punitive actions. Like we're the same, but it's like, how do you think there's not?
well,
And then you get mad,
and
and
that's
then you get
just it.
mad at the guy who did his
There's
job.
you read whether it's NIOSH reports or case law, and not so much even here in New Jersey. You read all around the country.
Hmm.
You read incidents that are go on, and you see things that are happening. These things are in place for a reason. They've been a lot of these rules and laws have, they've been on the books for a number of years. They're here to protect us, and
100%.
it's only to keep us from getting jammed up. Listen. No one wants to be the bad guy, but somebody's got to be the leader, and you got to rule.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
at the
really,
end
if
of
you look at it, New Jersey standards, our minimum standards are
right,
really lax.
yep,
Like, to be a fire officer in the state of New Jersey, you have to have ICS 200 and I am level 1, which is literally send your ICS 200 to the state,
yep,
and they're going
yep,
to send you a different green card.
right,
Like,
right,
that's pretty relaxed when you
yep,
consider you can be the fire chief of pretty much anything.
yeah. You just you have to set that bar high. So, like I said, at the end of the day, when I'm done and I walk away, I will look back at I hold my head high, because I ran a place with standards, with
Yeah.
professional integrity, and that's what you're supposed to do. Most importantly, good Lord willing, I walk away, no one gets hurt, everybody comes home. That's the main thing. So you have your core values, and then you have your main core of what your foundation of what you build the
Yep.
place to run the place on. And I think that's so important. It's so vital.
So now, what was the when you did that?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you said you took some gear away. You took member. Now, what was the actual impact when you consider answering calls and the percentages of people that were coming out? How many people did you actually lose from from that action?
We've lost a hand. We lost a handful. And you have a large size department, but let's face it, and this is probably this the safe thing for a lot of other departments. You have members on the roll, but not all 100% of your members are active. So,
Of course.
you know,
And
you
that's why I'm
you, you
saying, like, if you
you take you
lose,
take a, you take a core percentage of your department members that aren't active anymore, and like in my case, you apply this. Um, I'm not expecting every member to come out to every fire alarm or smells and bells, but members will come to fires. You know, and don't get me wrong, I would be remiss if I said it didn't. It hurt. Yes, sure, it hurt, but it needed to be done. Like I said, from the perspective of you're running a business, professional integrity.
nope,
So an internal audit probably prevented us from having the state come in and do their own audit, or if someone was to get hurt severely,
yep,
to come down and put me in further jeopardy. Well, why didn't you have this in place? So we put the thing is, I can honestly look at you and look at your camera tonight, look at the camera, I should say, and say, we do have a plan in place. And when this was implemented, from a fire protection plan, I already had something in place. So,
yeah, exactly.
thinking two more steps ahead, I had already had that thought, work something out, and had something was in place. So the impact, yeah, it was an impact, sure, just like with anything's an impact, but the blow, in my opinion, the blow was not significant. If that makes any sense to you. No, and
No,
I'll
that's
leave it
really
at
what I
that.
was. That's really, did you go for? My real question was really essentially, did you lose a lot of members that were qualified? That were answering calls? No, you didn't. You
Right.
know, these were the members that, lack
Right.
of better terms,
And, and that's and that's
they had
and
done
again,
their part for the organization, whatever that part was, and they were on the back end of the career, and they said, "Hey, you know what? I got to go take another class, and I'm not going to do that,"
well, that
or
and
whatever
and
the
as a
case may
chief,
be.
again, I would say as a chief, like, I didn't want to take people's gear away, but at the same time, I can't have people. You don't drive a car down the road that's unregistered or uninsured. You take that risk, because if
Yeah,
it is, then you're going to get pulled over. The car gets impounded. Or you could possibly get arrested.
yep,
So I'm not going to have guys that aren't compliant either.
yep,
And you go fight a fire, and God forbid somebody gets hurt, or
yeah,
you make a rescue, and you're unsuccessful in doing so, or you make a tactical decision as a chief, and then you get questioned for it, and then next thing you know, they look at all your files, and then
hmm,
they notice, hey, so chief, so and so here, he doesn't have this, doesn't have, why is that? And so now I'm on the carpet trying to
yep,
answer those questions.
yeah,
So and part of our job with fire, obviously fire prevention, but members prevention.
yeah,
Um, you know, culpability. So mea culpa, legal term
yep,
wise, so you look at those things and you try to put yourself ahead of the curb, so you don't have to put yourself in a position that you're going to
yep,
have to defend yourself.
100%,
You'll always be
100%.
second guessed, and
Oh, of course,
anybody in the
of
fire service can. And my predecessors before me, after me, long ago, will always say, you will always be questioned for a decision you make.
I
That's just the turf that we're in. So it's
I
the
think
job, I should say.
I
You'll
think
you'll.
I've said this once a week at least since
Mhm.
I started the show back in February.
Yep.
Harry Carter, one of my biggest mentors, greatest mentors, greatest fire mind I've ever known, probably, um, told me 100 times, if you're ever in charge and everybody around you is happy and patting you on the back, you're not doing something wrong, and you're about to get fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, I mean, that sums it up. Like, if I'm not doing something, then especially in a large organization full of alphas, which I've never met a firefighter that at least didn't think they were an alpha. Um, but yeah, like, if everybody's on the same page as you, not on the same page, but if everybody is friendly with you, you're doing something wrong, or you're not
And like
doing
I
something
said,
right.
I know wasn't happy with a lot of guys, but Nick, at the end of the day, I still have to continue to run the organization.
Yeah.
I've said it. I've said it to multiple people with inside. I'm not mad at anybody. That's a great part about our country. We can wake up and come and go as our please. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yep.
But I still have to run. I signed an oath of office as a chief with the town
Exactly.
to run this organization, to
You have a job to do.
protect and preserve. So that's what we do, and then at the end of the day, we can discuss it another day. So we live another day and we move on.
Yep.
And that's the way you have to look at it.
100%.
No matter what, I love the fire service. I've met some great people through the years. I'm proud to say in my 31 years now in the fire service, I've had some great friends. Still have some great friends. Trainings, did some fun trainings through the years. Gone of fun places to do trainings. And it is, you hear the term in the fire service, brotherhood. So I've met some really awesome people, instructors I've had, responsible again. Like I said, there's a long list of people that are responsible for me sitting in this chair right now. I wouldn't be in this chair if it wasn't for them. So, and the list is long. So I'm very thankful for that. Humble grounds between my family support, and then just overall friends like yourself, your family, my ties to your family goes back years. So it's stuff like that helps get you to where you are, and you think back at those things. So when, as I say, when the pressure tightens up a little bit, you think of, hey, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Don't let the pressure get to you. And so that's one of the things for me that I've been able to just think back, like, okay, just remember how you got here. Think logically, think clear, relax, take your time. And the words to live by, many words to live by, but those are the things I do go by, and that's what gets me through my days. That's what gets me to where I'm at now, and that's we've navigated through this.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So you mentioned our family connection.
Yes.
I had lunch with my brother and my dad today, and my brother actually asked me if I was going to ask about a specific incident where you were babysitting and maybe we were playing wiffle ball in the house, and I
already know what you've been talking about, man.
I may or may not have gotten my nose broken.
To that day, I still haven't worn white shorts, Nick. So for your viewers, like I said, the connection with your family. I used to come over and babysit you and your brother. If your father would blow out, go to a fire call or whatever. I mean, we were close. I've known you and Maddie and even Josie. I've known all you for a long time. So this particular day, you just had the bright idea, and I'm playing along with it. I played wiffle ball inside your parents' house with you and Maddie. Well, you take one right to the nose bleeding like Niagara Falls, and I happen to have a pair of white shorts on. So instead of, taking something up to your nose, blood goes all over the place. White shorts got blood all. Looks like I was slicing up chopping meat or something, man. And the look on your dad's face. I remember your dad was like, "What the?" You. I mean, like I said, to this day, I still don't wear white shorts. So that's been a running joke with the family. You remember those white shorts. So it's funny. It's funny you say Maddie mentioned that, but that was just like, it was like slow. That happened, and it happened so fast. It was like slow motion with the way how that happened. That whole dynamic,
Oh, and then a few years later, we're in the fire department together.
Yep. Like I said, people like your dad, you follow the dynamic there. Like, he was instrumental in my brother joining the fire department, and then just following my brother, and then knowing your father, through my brother, and knowing you guys like that, just extra push. Your father, through the years, has been a good source of, advice and things within the fire service with his knowledge. Like I said, the list goes on and on. There's a lot of people I could mention tonight. Some not even here anymore. I think of you mentioned Chief Harry Carter, Billy Eidinger. used to be the director of the Monmouth County Fire Academy.
Mm-hmm.
The late Bob Taylor, before I ran for chief, one of the things I did, I sat in his living room for 3 hours. And like, you want to talk about a roving history book of Freehold Borough, like fire department, water
Yeah.
mains. Bob was that guy. Prepped helped me out, just prepped me for making the run. Just told me, don't you're going to hear stuff, don't take it personal, don't hold yourself, don't get mad. People say things. It comes with the turf of being in the position of chief.
Yeah.
God bless his soul, everything he's mentioned, it's true, came to full fruition with me so far since I've been a chief. And you can't, and that, and anybody out there right now that's listening in or viewing in with us right now, and they're an up and coming officer or they're a chief, just my advice is, just let it roll off your shoulders. You got to keep moving. Steer your course, run your, let your conscience be your guide. If you're questioning what you're doing, then, and you're having second thoughts, then don't do it.
Maybe you should be doing it.
You should be doing it, right. So, and those things, like I said, many things that I recite to myself to live by, to get through my day or make a decision. You're stubborn on something that much, then maybe you shouldn't do it. And so, a lot of people have given me good advice over the years that have helped with my professional development.
Yeah, definitely. So now, what's next for the department? What's next for you? What do you 6 months left?
6 months.
What do you see?
It's hard to believe it's coming down to that. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for Jaye Sims. I can tell you, I could say, the term comes to an end at the end of the year, but I don't know what the future holds moving forward. I still have a yearning passion, strong passion in the fire service. I love the fire service.
Yeah.
I love what it's become. It's here. Things change. It's but as my kids get older too, following and tracking them with their sports, my responsibilities at work have increased. So I don't know. I tackle it as it come along. I do have plans in place, but I don't know. I just let the journey continue as it goes on, my friend. I'm just enjoying the ride. That's the best I can tell you.
I hear you. So now where are you progressing the department to? What's the path the department's going down?
So the biggest thing is, I think my favorite word I use is just compliancy. Just staying firm on keeping the department compliant. Trying to keep us up on the latest trends of rules, regulations, what's going on, and then next generation of standards and core training that's out there now, because things are constantly changing in the fire service. And I think in order to just keep a foot ahead, you have to stay on top of those things. Whoever the next person is after me, before me, after me, whatever, you hope you pass those down. You hope it's just like it's a relay. You pass the baton on. You hope they keep those things going. You build that repetition, and you hope that they keep it going. I was always taught that you hand the place off better than it was handed to you. So I'd like to think that will be the case when I'm done. That will be the thing. The department will be in a better place moving forward. And then after me, I will always make myself available to help out whatever I can do to continue to progress and move forward. Because there's always changes on the horizon. I mean, we could be sitting here this time next year and having the same conversation, and we'll look back and then be like, oh, you know what? Since we last chatted, this happened. And there's constantly, that's the thing with the fire service. Things are constantly changing and evolving into a different direction.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So now Your brother was in Monmouth Hose. Why didn't you join Monmouth Hose?
Listen,
I figure I'd just ask you.
I love my brother, but I couldn't be underneath my brother. So anyone that has an older brother, younger brother, or the family dynamic, listen, listen. I love my brother to pieces, but we wouldn't have been able to coexist. It wouldn't have been good. Well, I like I said, I did follow him down to the firehouse. Watched him do his thing, but to actually be in the same company, that wouldn't have been able to. I look back now and I laugh, but it would have been nice. But you know what? I was able to actually fight a few fires with my brother at the same time being inside with my brother. It's just like and fight a fire. It was cool. I'm sure as you with your father, and not to get all sentimental, but your show touched me last week with your father. That was pretty cool. The video montage with your dad, that's actually cool. You get to interview your dad, and being in the fire service and seeing how families evolve in the firehouse.
Yeah.
That for anyone that watched the show last week, myself, that was really cool. I really was one of my favorite ones that you've done so far.
Thank you.
So that's cool. So like I said, there's things now. Like I know I'm glad I got to do some things with my brother. I miss him every day. I wish he was here to see me as a active chief now. But I know he's watching, and he's watching, and he's smiling, and he's giving his own opinion. As you know, my brother was very opinionated. Anybody knows my brother knows that. Reggie never bit his tongue.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
I have trouble believing you.
Exactly.
And actually, I mean, if I can, I don't mean to put it down, but your brother broke the barrier in 1990 when he joined the fire department.
Correct.
He broke the barrier in 99, 2000-ish when he was first African American president of the department.
Correct.
You broke the barrier as first African American chief.
Yep.
Actually, you might have been the first African American company captain.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And now it's a 152-year-old department.
It is.
It's got to be a very I don't even know if proud's the word.
No, it is. You can say that. It is. It's a proud moment. I'd be lying to you. My mom holds her emotions on her sleeve. So she's a very proud mom, and even for the Freehold community, I think it's a proud moment. We've made strides. Yeah. And as you know, my other service to Freehold Borough was I was on the council for 12 years.
Yeah.
So I did three terms. I was the first African American to be on the borough council. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to make history in your hometown. I chose to stay here. I could have gone outside of Freehold and moved away, but I wanted to stay here. I still love living here. It's an awesome town to be in. It's an awesome town to live in. It's changed a lot through the years, but change is also good. I think change is good for the soul. And then being in the position I'm in and doing some of the things I've done from a historic standpoint, I'll be able to sit back down the road and sit with my children or my grandchildren down the road when my kids have kids. And be able to tell them, hey, your grandfather made history in the town. He did a lot for the town. Giving back. And my mom, that's one of the many lessons my mom taught us was, if you're going to complain about something, you have to get involved. And that's how my brother and I always got involved. We just got involved with rec commission. We coached basketball, baseball. When we got ourselves implanted in the town to make a difference, to try to change things for the better. And so same thing with the fire department. I do what I do to try to make the place better. It's not just because I have a self-gratifying ego to fulfill, because that's not the case. And you love it. If you don't love it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. It's great. Like I said, I've met some awesome people through the years, and I'm proud to even say that I still keep in touch with them, call them friends. One present company. So it's great. The fire service it's great. I love it. Whether it's career, volunteer, it's a good thing that's out there.
Absolutely.
Be lying. I love it. It's just like, you hear a police officer talk about law enforcement, but I'm real passionate about the fire service. It's a lot of great people out there in the fire service. Freehold's fortunate, you know,
All right.
having a historic fire department the way we have, and things of that nature. Being in an historic town, it's a good feeling. Really is.
And Freehold Borough, you guys have that fire truck that Bruce Springsteen bought, right?
Correct. So Bruce did. Bruce purchased the fire truck back in 1990. The truck is actually still in service now. It's more like used like a special services type truck now. But yeah, it's got Born and Run and written on the side on the doors, and it is a definite tourist attraction when people come into town for various things related to Bruce Springsteen. They like to come to the firehouse. They like to snap photos and take pictures of the truck, sit in the truck. So it's a good, warm, fuzzy feeling. It's one of those things. It's great. It's great PR for the town. It's great PR for the fire department.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you got nothing else, you
Yeah,
want to
this has been. I just want to say thank you, Nick, for having me on
absolutely.
tonight.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time out. I mean,
I am. I'm proud of you because like I said, knowing the family, like I've known the family. You started doing this. This is a great thing. I think it's a great thing for the fire service. I hope more of our brothers take advantage and watch your weekly show. I'm glad I was honored when you asked me to be a part of this.
thank you.
I'm happy I was able to be a part of it, and keep doing what you're doing. You've really built your craft. Proud
Well,
of you. Proud of
you're
everything
like
you've done.
saying goodbye. I still have the jersey questions for you.
No, shoot away. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just putting that out there because, like I said, it's a personal touch for me knowing you.
Yeah.
So
No,
absolutely.
I love it. I do. It's fun.
Yep.
It gets information and makes a monument that's out there forever.
Yep.
And
Yep.
like you said, sitting on your porch one day, telling your grandkids about the impact their family had on the small
Sure.
the small town of Freehold.
Yep.
Your great grandkids can be watching this one day.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And that's technology. That's stuff that guys like Tommy Prime,
Good.
guys like Jimmy Jackson, guys that were there showing us how to cut our teeth in the fire service in Freehold at 49 West Main,
Yep.
that are no longer with us. Those stories that we learned that we heard from them. I mean,
Absolutely.
we learned how to be men,
Mm-hmm.
and we learned how to be leaders from guys that fought in World War II. I mean,
You're correct.
Tommy Prime was a BAR man and a flamethrower carrier at Iwo Jima. Like, talk about learning how to be a man, like somebody to look up to and aspire to be like. And I mean,
Sure.
he was into his 60s, 70s, whatever. And that guy came down and still took care of old, number two and the antique.
Oh, there's a lot of great guys through the years in the
You know,
Freehold Fire Department
it,
that were,
it was,
um,
and
absolutely.
it's not just our town, not just our firehouse. It was the same story around the state, around the country. And
Absolutely.
it's, the what I'm getting at is this show like is putting it on record now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we lost all that in the
Mm-hmm.
past. All right, let's stop getting sentimental. Getting home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you got for me,
Uh,
New Jersey? What do you
all
want to talk
right.
about?
All right. Number one, is it pork roll or Taylor ham?
Pork roll. Pork roll. Now you just inspired me. I think I want to grab a sandwich in the morning. I gotta grab a pork roll sandwich.
There you go. Best pizza.
Ooh, good question. Best pizza. I gotta tell you. So growing up, obviously here in Freehold, you have Federicis.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a Feds pie. My mom, we'd switch up. Friday nights was always potluck night, so my mom didn't cook. That was our wild card night, so to speak,
All
because my
right.
mom cooked every other night. So we were good. Nothing like a good hot Feds pizza with some sausage on it, and that
Mm-hmm.
bag, that paper bag, just full of grease by the time you got home, and it looked like you just
Mm-hmm.
drizzled the oil all over that sucker because it leaked through the bag. And you got
Mm-hmm.
home and you nearly burned your damn hands because that bag's so hot. And like like my brother and I would have freaking drool running down your mouth
Yeah.
by the time you get home. So
Yeah. We
yeah,
actually had
yeah.
we had Frankie Feds today.
Did you?
Yeah. I had a Frankie Feds sausage and one pepperoni today.
Yep, 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 yep.
All right. All right. So do you go to the beach or you go down the shore?
Gotta say the shore, man. Sure.
All right. All right.
I remember when I got my license. So you start driving with your friends. Like, where you guys going? How we're going down to the shore.
Down the
Yeah, I mean
shore.
that's just like that's so. You mentioned that quite. That's just like old people that live in the area, like old Freehold. You live in the area.
Yeah.
You don't say Six Flags. You say Great
Great
Adventure.
adventure.
To me it's always Great Adventure. So somebody says Six Flags, I'm like, oh yeah. I don't even say GA. You say Great Adventure.
Yep. Yep. Be a gentleman about it.
PNC Art Center to me always be known as Garden State Art Center.
Yep. Yeah. I don't even know what this PNC stuff is.
No, no.
So what is your beach of choice?
I'm not a beach goer, and go figure, I work in a shore town now, so I'm on the beach sometimes to do different things. It's really not been my thing. More like the boardwalk guy.
Okay.
I go on the beach for different. Like I said, I go on the beach at work, but now for the family, if we take the journey to the beach, and you're not going to find Jaye Sims sitting laying on the towel on the beach or in a chair. Not gonna happen.
I hear you. I hear you. No. I
Nope.
agree.
Nope.
I agree.
Yep.
Does Central Jersey really exist?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love the battle with that. I listen. So when I would meet people, where you live, Central Jersey. I'm in Freehold. The cream of the crop here, Central Seed of Monmouth
Yeah.
County. We're Central Jersey here. I love
I
that.
tell everybody if you find the direct center of the state of New Jersey and put a pin in it, you probably just poked somebody's house that I know.
Yep.
It's Freehold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah. So now where are you throwing your borders? Your North Jersey border, your South Jersey border? Where are you throwing them at? Now that's the question.
So to me, you start getting like lower ocean, middle ocean county, you drop down. That's like going South Jersey. You go down the
Okay.
Parkway South there. Here's a good rule of thumb from me. This is just me. You driving down that damn parkway, you see the damn sign entering the Pine Barrens. All right. It's like Darcy. We're no longer in Kansas.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
your ass could get lost
Well,
down there in the
no.
damn
Now
Pine
you're
Barrens.
in Kansas.
So you know what I'm saying? So
I
you're
know.
down there, you lost, man. You lost in the sauce down. You can get
I live
lost.
down here in the Pine Barrens now.
Yep.
All right. So where's your north border?
It depends on how you look at it. Because to me, Old Bridge is in north, but like you get upper Middlesex, you start saying like Carteret, Royal Way. You start going exit 12 off the turnpike. You get on the turnpike. You're heading up north. That's
You know, I watched somebody jump off the Driscoll the other day.
Really.
Swear to God. I'm driving back from New York. Had to go pick up a cheesecake. Driving home, and I see traffic on the bridge, but it's
Right.
Sunday morning. I'm like, beach traffic starting a little high this on a Sunday. And I see two state trooper cars off on the shoulder on the southbound lanes.
Yep.
And I can see off in the distance in front of them, there's an SUV with the rear hatch open. I'm like,
Sure.
Somebody's got a flat tire or something. So I get over into the middle lane. So now as I'm coming up, I see a state trooper, another state trooper, and a guy, not in a uniform. I see another state trooper flying up and a Turnpike Authority car, lights and sirens flying up the northbound side in
Yep.
the center shoulder, in the center
Yep.
median. I take my eyes off the situation for a second. I look back. There's 2 state troopers, nobody else, and they're looking over the edge of the bridge. I'm like, oh, that wasn't good.
Wow. No, that's not good at all. Listen, yeah, you never want to think that, but no.
It's wild.
No.
It's New Jersey. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on.
Yep.
Who are or were some of your mentors in the fire service, in life?
Fire service. Let's see. Your father, Bill Leidinger, Harry Carter, Captain Fitz, Ron Fitzpatrick, Fred Serby, Jimmy Story. He's passed away.
Okay.
AJ Story and Chris Story's father, or Wayne Procknow, Gordy Procknow, Bob Taylor, Donnie Rue. The list goes on and on. It's just a lot of guys that have very nurturing, instrumental in my development of the fire service.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, my mother's the top of that list, and my mom's my hero. And I'll even add my brother to that list.
Yeah.
So my brother was yep, one of my heroes. But those names, to name a few, all those gentlemen that I've named, including my mom. It's like, particularly in the fire service, those guys. I'll tell you a funny story real quick. I almost quit when I went through the fire academy out of Fire One, struggling with learning ladders and stuff like that when I first started through the fire service. And I'll never forget, Sunday afternoons, everybody cleared out. So Bill Leidinger, Gordon Procknow, Wayne Procknow, Jimmy Story. We had a little round table discussion, and he sat down, and I remember we sat there probably till about it was like 5:30. I never forget leaving the fire academy, and those guys talked me out of quitting. Worked. We did after everybody left, so I wouldn't be embarrassed. Those guys sat down with me and they worked. We went outside. We threw some ladders up, and they worked with me. They said, we're gonna get you through this course. And why I tell that story is because that's the significance of mentorship in the fire service. You see somebody struggling like that, and you do things like that. You help each other. You don't step on somebody. You help them along. And I think we've lost that touch with a lot of things in the fire service. So those generations that you're supposed to mentor that next generation to come up, to bring them up to where you are. And then that generation you bring up, they become this generation, and you see the next thing, and the process is supposed to continue. Yep. So, those guys were so instrumental in helping me that I will never, ever forget that, because like I said, I was about ready. What the hell am I doing here? I don't want to do this shit. I was ready to quit, and they weren't going to let me quit. So no matter what I was saying or what I was going to do, that determination on it, you're not quitting.
You're not.
And so I tell that stories because, we have to, that's the other job we have to do. Like we see our young people coming into the fire service now. So like the me's now, we're those people now. We have to mentor our younger people and make sure they have the proper tools of recruitment to maintain and stay in the fire service, keep the fire service what it is.
100%.
And that's, like, I hear the term brotherhood all the time. That's, to me, that's brotherhood. That's what brotherhood is.
100%.
So, yep.
100%. Proudest achievement in the fire service, or
wow. Becoming the chief of the Freehold Fire Department. Like I said to you earlier, I never thought that I would, be in a position to do it. I just joined the fire department because it's something I wanted to do. Something I saw my older brother, and then you have friends that join, so you're like, oh, you know what? Cool. Now I'm a firefighter. I'm in the fire department. But
Yeah.
you know, as you get older, you get mature, and you do things. So when this became more of a realization, this is something I wanted to put my mind to, and I did. So last January, when I raised my hand to take the oath of office, so I would say in my time definitely, and having my family there, was my proudest moment.
Good. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, last question.
All right.
What advice do you have for the fire service?
Stay consistent. Yes, we're volunteers, but we're firefighters, and I say that on the volunteer side. But I'll answer the question on overall as firefighters. Just remember what you signed up for. You know, we have a duty to protect. We have a duty to maintain. We're viewed as professionals, regardless of what our rank and file are, or if we're volunteers or career. So, you know, when people call upon you, they're expecting you to be the experts to handle the job at hand. And I think it's important for us to maintain that professional integrity from the minute you sign that book to the minute you walk out the door and you're done with your career. So my advice is, yes, there's always the banter in the firehouse, and that comes with the turf of being in the firehouse. But just remember what you signed up for. And I say that like I'm thinking about all the things I've gone through now in the past year with compliancy things and stuff like that. I did it to make the organization better. I did it to maintain the organization. And so if you have a passion, if you have a love for something, you'll go out on a limb to make sure you protect that. So this is something I love doing. Like I said, chasing fire trucks around town as a kid. I never thought I'd be sitting here in a chair talking to you as the chief of the fire department of the same department that I used to chase and go watch them fight fires. So it's been an awesome journey that I've been able to fulfill. And I would say to anyone else looking and being inspired to be a up and coming officer, just take your role seriously. You know, navigate your path, have a plan in place, and stay consistent with that plan. You know, you can always change things, but always stay consistent. Don't become inconsistent, because that shows a flaw in your armor as a leader. People will respect you regardless. They may not agree with what your calls are as a leader, but if you maintain and stay consistent and firm, and learn how to answer. Always answer people. Have an answer. Don't always evade an answer, because they may not like your answer, but they'll respect you because you didn't give them an answer. You give them a response back, and that's 100%. something I've prided myself to do with the department and the men.
100%. And let's face facts. If you don't give me, if I ask you something and you don't give me an answer, that's my answer. I can do whatever I want.
Absolutely.
I can answer the question myself.
Yep.
So if it's hey chief, can I do this? And you don't tell him yes or no, he's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it. He's
gonna do it.
You're right. Yep.
So there you go. All right. So what else do you have? You have any shout outs for anybody or anything you want to I know Freehold, you guys have a you're hosting a What's Exit Fools?
Yeah, so the Exit Fools, they're doing a training this Saturday at the Freehold Firehouse. They're using the old town hall as a prop. It sounds like it's the Fools. It's a group. One of our members is a member of the group. It sounds like it's going to be a fun-filled day of training. I believe it's half a day's worth of training. So, you know, I'd like to give a shout out to them. Good luck with the training this Saturday at the firehouse. If you haven't done so, go to I don't know exactly what their web address is, but I know it's called the Fools, I believe. So it sounds like it's going to be a fun-filled group of training that evolutions of training that's going to be planned for the day. A lot of work's being put into it, so we're happy to host it. Have some people coming in from all over the place to our firehouse Saturday, so the exposure is great. More importantly, if anybody's coming to it, it's the fact that they're getting some good, decent training out of it is far most important. And just an overall shout out to the Freehold Fire Department. Thank you. I'm proud to be the chief of the department. Proud to be in the position I'm in. Proud to lead a great group of men in this day and age, and be your leader. So again, thank you for having this forum to allow discuss the different platforms that are out there in the fires and discussions and stuff that are in the fire service. It's very vital. I think it's to get this message out. I think what you're doing is great.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come out and get on the show. Thank you also for everything you've done for me in my career. I did a 1.5-year stint on the county hazmat team that you were instrumental in helping me get that position and get my training and set me up for success with that job. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. What's going on with the firehouse in the old building?
So right now town's just looking to do some redeveloping. They have ideas moving forward with relocation of the firehouse. Eventually, what they want to do is make the firehouse a museum, like the Bruce Springsteen Archive Museum. So there's plans of building a new firehouse or public safety building, what have you, with the police shared building with the police department. So right now, I know the town's more or less in the planning stages of things. I don't know as far as acquisition of a property or locations, not. The plan is to eventually do that. The good part about it is down the road, the actual firehouse itself is being still preserved. So their plan is to not knock it down. I know some people thought they were going to knock it down and put us out completely, but that's not the case. It's a change down the road that's coming. It's just like with stuff with the fire service, there's unfavorable feelings towards it. But the town feels the need to redevelop. It's almost like when you paint your house, you put a different color up because you're tired of looking at the same color. You want to change things around or move a wall, take a wall down or something. So, we're slow and steady. We'll see what happens down the road with it. I haven't heard any new developments with it currently, so I'm not sure where the town is right now. But it's one of those things, you keep your ear open and see what happens, what comes.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Jay. So if you got nothing else, I'm going to put you in the backstage area. We'll say our goodbyes off air. And
yes.
I'll just say goodbye to everybody. And
absolutely. I appreciate you again. Thank you for doing this. This is great.
Absolutely.
And down the road again, I'd be more than welcome to come back again and chat it up with you again about current issues in the fire service or discussions or anything you want to discuss. Feel free to hit me up. I'd be more than welcome to do so.
Can I do a 6 o'clock test?
I missed those. Right? That was very symbolic in the western area. Everybody look forward to those 6 p.m. tests for Freehold Borough.
12-15 gongs.
12-15 bongs. Yep.
I mean,
yep. Absolutely.
All right. We'll say goodbye. Hold on. I'll be right with you. All right, everybody. That wraps up run number 21 with Fire Chief Jaye Sims from Freehold Borough Fire Department. Thank you, Chief. Next week, we're not going to have a traditional episode for the 4th of July where everybody celebrates the 4th of July. However, we are going to be having a drawing. We're raffling off in conjunction with the New Jersey Fire and EMS Institute. We are going to be raffling off. Thank you to Chief Mullen from Perth Amboy. We're going to be raffling off 10 tickets to this event. The drawing is going to be next week on 4th of July at 7:30. entry to the drawing is free. All it costs you is go online, go to NJ Fire Guys on YouTube or on Facebook, the outside vent, and there's a video link, video advertisement, copy, paste, and comment, tag somebody else, and that's your free entry to win one of the tickets to this event. Again, thanks for coming out tonight. Had a great time. Stay safe till next week. Have a good one.